What is up, guys? Eric here from Real Film Reviews, bringing you another movie review, this time for the new Chris Pratt film, The Magnificent Seven. To start with, I want to apologize for the lateness of this video. I actually saw this movie last weekend, but was sick, and my voice was even worse than it is now. I am getting better, and I wanted to get this video up along with some other videos this weekend for you guys, so let's get into it. The Magnificent Seven is directed by Anton Fuqua and stars Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, and Vincent D'Onofrio, along with a bunch of other people, and is the story of a town that is being controlled by a evil rich guy, basically, back in the times of the Old West, and this woman's husband is murdered, and so she calls upon Denzel Washington to form a group of, like, mercenaries, sort of, to help win this town back over from this evil man. The Magnificent Seven is a remake, in case you did not know, of the original Magnificent Seven, which is a remake of Seven Samurai, which is a Japanese film. To start with, the most important aspect of this movie for me was the chemistry between the actors, because this whole story obviously is centered around these 7 characters, and I think that this movie did a decent job of building us characters. I felt that Denzel Washington's character got the most backstory, which is fair, being he's sort of the leader of the group, and then I felt that second to him was Ethan Hawke's character, and then other than that, I felt that everyone else in the movie sort of had just a generic-esque backstory where we didn't really learn that much. They sort of just played their own role in the group, and they were supposed to be entertaining. This movie is pretty funny with the chemistry between the actors and the script, adding some decent jokes that they tell, and they have some fun moments where they're sitting around just talking with each other. But other than that, the action in the movie is pretty solid, I would say. There's some really cool set pieces that they use near the end of the film, and as a whole, I thought the action worked fairly well, but it just felt very shoot 'em up. There wasn't much to the action in this film, which, to be fair, in a Western, it's hard to add anything extra, but it just felt like there wasn't enough being done to add any intrigue to it. It was very straightforward, bang, bang, guy falls over, turns, shoots 2 more times, 2 guys fall over, and there wasn't anything really interesting to it. I did think that it was a pretty fun summer movie. It sort of landed at the end of summer, but I did think it was still fun in the sense of a summer movie, but I felt that its main problem was it's overly long. This movie lasts much longer than it should. They could have cut out a lot of sequences in this movie that linger for longer than they need to. The script just has a lot of pacing issues. We get an action sequence in the beginning, an action sequence in the middle, and an action sequence in the end, but in between those sequences, this is a 2-hour and 15-minute long movie, and there isn't much else going on in between those sequences. The movie tries to intertwine some character development into these conversations where it's supposed to come off natural, but it feels very forced when these characters share something about their past life or something, and it just felt like I was sitting there knowing this was supposed to feel like this naturally came up in conversation, but it just did not come off that way. It came off like they were trying to add at least one little aspect to every member of the 7, because with the exception of Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke's characters, everyone else gets very little in terms of a backstory. I feel like the script is the main issue with this film. It has cliche lines, some lines just don't really make sense, there's some awkward love story stuff going on that never really turns into anything, and all the character development, with the exception of 2 of the 7, feels very forced every time it's brought up. I'm gonna give The Magnificent Seven a B-. I think that this is a fun movie that you can go check out in theaters. If you enjoy Westerns, go watch it. You will enjoy it because it feels like a real Western, but it just severely suffers from pacing issues and the problem of not having enough going on in between the big action sequences that take place. Well, guys, as always, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this review, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of The Magnificent Seven, share everything we do here on Real Film Reviews, and I hope to see you guys later.